My father-in-law bribed hospital security to sneak into my surgery, filmed it without my consent, and posted the video online. It went viral before I even woke up. Now I'm suing him and the hospital, but the family drama is tearing us apart. I'm 34F, the youngest in a family of 4 kids. Growing up, I often ended up sorting out arguments between my siblings or helping my parents through rough patches. My folks split when I was a kid, and Mom dealt with drinking problems until she got clean around the time I hit 25. Dad found someone solid to remarry, and things settled down somewhat. Still, family stuff has always been messy, and I've usually been the one trying to keep everyone on track. It's not something I complain about much. I'm a social worker by trade, so listening and helping comes naturally. My husband Ethan, 36M, works in tech, fixing code for a living. We do all right financially, but with my health costs piling up, it's been a squeeze lately. About 6 months back, doctors found some serious issues, severe endometriosis and growths that needed dealing with. They recommended a partial hysterectomy. At my age, that hit hard. Ethan and I had been hoping for kids for a couple years, and this pretty much ended that. It was a lot to wrap my head around, but the procedure promised to ease the constant pain and get me back to normal. The surgery happened yesterday. I'd laid out the rules up front, just Ethan in the holding area before and right after. Everyone else could stop by once I was up and feeling okay. I mentioned this to Ethan's dad, Victor, 62M, over dinner a few weeks ago. He seemed fine with it, said he got why I wanted space. But while I was out cold on the table, Victor paid a security guy $500 to slip him into the secure part of the hospital. From there, he made his way to a spot where he could see into the operating room and started filming on his phone. The whole thing me laid out, the doctors at work, everything exposed. I came to in recovery around 6 p.m., feeling out of it. Ethan was by my side, but he looked awful, face strained, hands unsteady. When I asked, he showed me his phone without a word. Victor had uploaded a 45-minute clip to YouTube called The Wonders of Surgery, My Daughter-in-Law's Procedure. It had racked up over 500,000 views in the few hours since he'd posted it. The footage didn't hold back, my body on display, the surgical details, even close-ups of my face. He put my full name in the description. The comments were a mix, some folks talking about medical advances, others making gross jokes or judgments about what they saw. I felt my chest tighten up. It was like the air got sucked out of the room. Ethan said he'd been fighting with YouTube support to pull it down, but copies were already popping up elsewhere from people who'd saved it. I broke down right there. A nurse overheard and looped in the higher-ups. By that evening, they'd let the security guy go and were scrambling to figure out how this slipped through. No one could say why nobody spotted Victor with his phone out during the whole operation. Victor tried visiting the hospital later that night. Ethan and the staff kept him out. He messaged me, confused, saying he figured I'd be glad he captured the strength I showed and that sharing it could help others going through similar stuff. He went on about not hiding medical experiences. I left it unread. The following morning, still sore and barely moving, he showed up at our place. Ethan tried sending him away at the door, but Victor shoved in, insisting on clearing the air. I was on the couch, hurting bad, and told him straight. He'd crossed a line, filming me without permission and sharing it like that. It stripped away any control I had over my own story. I said he wasn't coming back here and we'd be talking to a lawyer. He blew up, calling me ungrateful, saying he'd only wanted to spotlight health challenges women face and that I was making a big deal out of nothing. He mentioned the cash he dropped to get in, like that gave him some claim. Ethan got him out the door, warning about calling the cops if he didn't go. As he left, Victor yelled about me splitting up the family and poisoning Ethan against him. Then he aired it all in the family group chat, framing it as me punishing him for being too involved. Now things are divided. Ethan's mom is appalled and backing us fully. But 2 of his siblings think it's blown out of proportion. Victor slipped up but had good intentions. One brother suggested dropping it since the cat's out of the bag and legal stuff would just make everything worse. I've got a lawyer on it now, one who handles privacy and medical cases. We're going after Victor for the unauthorized filming and sharing, plus the emotional fallout, aiming for around $2 million total. The hospital's in the mix too for dropping the ball on security. The lawyer's confident we've got solid grounds. Victor's emailing me these long messages about treating me like his own kid, how he got carried away with the tech side of medicine, and that he didn't mean any harm. He says court is for outsiders, not relatives, and I'm picking cash over kin. But every time I think about all those viewers seeing me like that, it twists me up inside. The nasty comments stick in my mind. It's like reliving the exposure over and over. Ethan's done with most of his family for not calling Victor out right away. He's hardly talking to his siblings. His mom's been great but wonders if we can sort it without suits, worried about Victor's headspace. Part of me feels bad. Victor and I were on decent terms before. He's obviously upset, and Ethan's mom is caught in the middle. But standing up for myself has to come first, even if it means not smoothing things over like usual. Edit. Thanks for the messages, but I'm swamped and focusing on getting better. Shared this with Ethan. We're seeing the lawyer soon to push ahead. YouTube yanked the main video after our lawyer stepped in, but we know it's still floating around. Starting counseling next week because the anxiety hits hard thinking about it. Victor's cut off for good. This wasn't okay, and I'm dealing with it one step at a time while my head's a mess. Update, 6 days later. Quick rundown. Met with the lawyer, filed the papers a few days back. Victor got served yesterday and flipped out, from what we hear. Ethan's mom phoned in tears, saying he's talking about self-harm and that we've wrecked him. She pleaded to back off. I said I care about her, but no, this wasn't some slip. He planned the bribe, the sneak-in, the filming, and the upload with my name attached. Ethan's brother texted about us ripping the family up, calling Victor quirky, but not dangerous. Ignored it. Victor started blowing up my phone from a different number, sorry 1 minute, accusing the next. Offered to cover counseling, say sorry online, give to a cause. Then flipped to saying I was overblowing it and never fit in. Ethan blocked him. Lawyer tacked on harassment claims. Hospital's lawyers floated a deal, $750,000, plus handling all my health and counseling bills. Lawyer says it's worth thinking about. We're weighing it. Turns out Victor had this in mind for a while. Ethan's mom mentioned him rambling about capturing surgical progress and looking up hospital access. She brushed it off as talk. Regrets it now. Spoke to my doctor. She's shocked. Backing us all the way. Says in her career, this is a first and the stress could slow my recovery. Last night, Ethan's sister dropped by. She's been solid with us. She dropped the bomb. Victor got a dementia diagnosis months ago early on. Family kept it quiet because he didn't want pity. Ethan was pissed they hid it. She said they figured they could handle it, but his choices have gotten off track. Doesn't wipe out what happened, but might tie into the poor judgment. Not sure how to process that. He still did what he did, shared me with hundreds of thousands. But if his thinking was off, it muddles things. Ethan says diagnosis or not, actions have fallout. Lawyer agrees it complicates, but doesn't kill the case. Proceeding anyway. I'm rough, can't keep food down, bad dreams, scared to go out thinking folks might know me from the video. Ethan's holding up for me, but it's wearing on him. Victor's side offered $500,000, an apology, and no criminal push if we settle. Still deciding. Second update, 10 days later. More developments. To clear up, my family's been okay, but not super involved. They get it happened, but not the full weight. All the tension's on Ethan's side. 4 days ago, Victor turned up at my job, a center for family support. Acted like he needed help, got the front desk to call me. I saw him waiting and ducked back, told my boss. They got security to boot him, but he made noise, yelling about me wrecking his world with spite. Coworkers were stunned. Boss gave me the week off. That evening, he emailed the whole family tree a rant about me suing over his admiration for medicine and cutting him off from Ethan. Made himself the injured party. Had to field calls from relatives explaining the real deal. Ethan's mom came by next, upset, saying Victor's fixated on talking me down from the suit, convinced it'll fix everything. His condition's worsening quicker. Doc's worried about basics like sleep and meals. It tugged at me, but Ethan pointed out the choices were made before things got this bad. Damage doesn't vanish. Lawyer updated. Hospital upped to $1.2 million, lifetime medical coverage, and new security rules. They want it hushed. We took it. They own the screw-up. Victor's offer, $800,000, public sorry, treatment commitment, and permanent distance. Mulling it. Then yesterday, Ethan's brother called. Victor's in a mental health unit after suicide talk. Families pointing fingers at us. Brother texted, hope this sits well with you. You crushed him. Ethan lost it, caught between shielding me and the family pull. I feel rotten, but can't erase the video's reach or the fallout. Settling with Victor this week. Money's no cure, but it sets lines and repercussions. He'll get care, stay clear, no more outreach. Started sessions with Ethan because this is straining us. He's mourning his dad Link while standing by me. It's tough on him. I'm pushing through the physical heel and mental fog. Guilty my pains spilling over. Final update, 3 months later. Ethan and I cut ties with most of his relatives a month back, except his mom and that one sister. Deals closed. Hospital's $1.2 million covered house payoff, bills, savings, and ongoing care costs. Victor's $800,000 went similar. Feels more like compensation for the hassle than any win. Victor's in a specialized care home now. His condition advanced fast, can't manage alone. Ethan went to see him once recently, even though I wasn't thrilled. Came back wrecked. Victor had no memory of the video, the posting, or the mess after. Ethan was a mess that night. It's weird. The person who did this is kind of gone, no recall. Doesn't fix the hurt, but my anger's got nowhere to land clean. Therapy's ongoing, solo and joint. Sorting the bitterness, regret, loss. Some days I'm mad at Victor. Others, I second-guess the timing with his health. Counselor says accountability was right, even with the twists. Back to work halftime. Boss is flexible, but new faces at the door still spike my nerves. Videos mostly gone online, but lawyer says bits might linger in obscure spots. I push it aside. Ethan's brother emailed last week, bitter, claiming the suit sped up Victor's slide, and we as good as ended him. Ethan skipped replying, but it hit hard. Mom updates on Victor sparingly. It's raw for all. Victor's lawyer reached out recently about care expenses eating his funds, asking if we'd chip back some settlement. Ethan leaned toward maybe. I said no way. Settled on Ethan helping his mom directly if he chooses, from his own pocket, not the awarded cash. No neat ending here, no full piece. Just getting by, piecing back some normalcy and trust. The operation was meant to help, but it turned into this nightmare breach from someone close. Thanks to those who've checked in, means a lot. No roadmap for this kind of betrayal, so I'm just focusing on the next step, even when it feels out of reach.